Again, I'm not sure if I'm live or not. Maybe. See, using new software really throws me. I don't know. But there. Hello. Sound good? You can see me, yeah? Hello, Goblin. Hello, Crafty. So you can hear me okay, yeah? You can see me? Hello. Not sure. Can you see me? I've got my hand in front of the camera now. I'm not sure if... All good. Okay. There's a... I'm trying OBS, but I think there's a bit of a delay. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, not 100% sure whether I like it or not. But okay, so I'm gonna do a little test because I'm not 100% sure if you're on a slight delay for me actually. So I'm gonna do a little test. Okay, you tell me when you can see my knife move. The picture looks good though. Okay. So there is a delay, but it looks okay and it seems to be working okay. Is that what I'm getting from this? Yeah, okay. I think we'll probably move. Wow, okay, there is a bit of a delay, so I'll have to really take that into account. It's probably something that I could probably change in the settings, but I don't really want to fiddle too much now. I'd probably mess everything up, knowing me. The stream is healthy. Well, that's always a good thing to read. How are you guys doing? Don't think they make a difference to you. Well, that's the main thing. Just me it's going to confuse. So, yeah, I'm going to be painting... Well, carrying on painting the Formatage, set number 2. So that's these guys. I think they're coming along quite good. I like the way they look. They seem to be... yeah, I'm quite pleased with how they're coming along. Oops. Yeah, there you go. Try and get them both on camera. Quite like the highlights and what have you. I think looking pretty good. So I did do that post or poll about, you know, whether to go to camera or not. It was very close, but they did slightly win out on yes, go for 2 camera. I've kind of doing a little test of that today. That's why I'm using OBS for a change and not using my usual YouTube streaming service. So yeah. But yeah, no. How you guys been? What you been up to? You doing well? Have you recovered from your trip yet, Goblin? Crafty, is your back any better? Are you a bit more yourself, or are you still struggling away? Let me think about what I'm going to do on these guys while yeah, I think I have to do their shoes. Quite like that blue, the blue for the staff. Actually, I think it looks quite good, and you know, because they're like thaumaturges, I consider them like, you know, healing people. So you know, that's gonna be. I think that works okay. You know, it looks suitably like first aidy. Been just sat in the flat painting for the last couple of days. That's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with with that, Crafty Goblin. One day I will remember to say your name and not Crafty's. For some reason I keep saying the wrong names, which is kind of annoying. Just fiddling around with my screens for a second. Get them positioned a bit more so I can see. There you go, that's a bit better. Still recovering, but being into hospital to get popped back in and can sit for more than 10 minutes now, so that's good. Ouch, yeah, that does not sound good, Crafty. Yeah, Crafty could definitely do with a healing mage. Very good. Yeah, so don't know, what have I been up to? I've been up to I went to the cinema with my daughter to go and see Moana, the live action version. Left with a few critiques of it. One of which was, why the hell did they bother? Because it was the exact carbon copy of the cartoon. So it felt like, why waste the money paying 50 million or whatever they have to do to get Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to be in the film in order to refilm something, and you know, the same thing, that, and it wasn't really any better. It was arguably slightly worse. I think his performance was worse in this than in the cartoon. I think the cartoon had more range of emotion than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually has. So yeah. Also, his terrible wig was off-putting. Every time I looked at him, it was so off-putting. And he wore this weird muscle suit to make himself look bigger, which is ridiculous when it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson that he needs to wear a muscle suit. But strangely enough, the muscle suit didn't have any nipples. So apparently demigods don't have nipples, which was very weird. But yeah, it was, yeah, the main come away from it was, if you're gonna watch it, watch the animated. It was probably better in the long run than the proper movie. That's why he's called The Rock. It's his acting style. It felt very much like that, to be honest. He's one of those actors that started off fairly well, you know, when he went over from wrestling to acting. Like in Doom and all, he played, you know, a fairly evil character. And there was another one where he was like a, I don't know, criminal, and he was in this car. I can't remember the name of it. But he was pretty good. But his acting skills have gone downhill since he's joined Disney. I think it hasn't done him any good. Definitely hasn't improved his acting at all, going into this sort of more family-friendly market, I don't think. But that's my personal opinion, so, you know, I'm sure there are people out there which would completely disagree with me, but, yeah, no. Get these shoes painted. I don't mind the Rock. He's exactly as you'd expect. Yeah, I liked the animation, the animated Moana. You know, of a Disney movie, I think that was pretty good. but it felt like this was just a kind of a cash grab. You know, for a movie which hasn't been out all that long, why they needed to do a live action version of it is really kind of beyond me, because, you know, the film isn't that old. They animated the original animation, so why they have to do it? But he was more wooden. I know it's weird because he did the voice for the cartoon, but the cartoon, I think, the animators maybe gave him more range of acting than perhaps a live action version of Dwayne has got, you know, which is kind of strange. And, you know, as talented as the young lady was who played Moana, she didn't feel particularly Moana-ish. Maybe that's just me, but... and the girl who sang, or the woman who sang the animated version, I felt had a stronger voice. So all in all, yeah, I wasn't overly won over by the movie, but my daughter came away saying exactly the same things as I'm saying, so that's one thing. It's not just me being an old fart. It is, you know, my varied generations are feeling the same way about the film by the looks. And apparently it's kind of bombed at the box office, which is... seems to be what Disney does at the moment, is for every Frozen they have like 4 or 5 flops. And it tends to be their live action stuff which flops, so you would think they would have learnt by now that maybe, you know, not live action every movie they've ever made. There's no need. Also, went to a country park near me. Me, the wife, and the girls. Had a fun wander around. So the weather is kind of warming up again, which is not ideal, not for me. I enjoyed those couple of days of a little bit of rain. It was quite refreshing. I would quite happily go back and have some of that rain. I don't think I've been to the cinema to see any Disney movies. Well, you are a lucky man, Goblin. That's the only thing I go to see at the cinema at the moment, is Disney movies and the like. Trying to think of the last movie I went to see which wasn't a Disney movie. I can't think what it would have been. God, it's that long ago. Yeah, I don't think we were even living in this house. So that would be like 12 years ago. Maybe more. So yeah, it's been a while since I watched, you know, a proper movie that I just wanted to go and watch. I lie, actually. We went to see something, didn't we, recently? Me and my youngest. Can't remember what it was. It'll come to me. Probably. My daughter did. My wife and my other daughter didn't want to go and watch it, so it was just me and my youngest went to watch it. But I can't remember what it was. Oh, yeah. So it was a Disney movie, actually. It was Mandalorian, wasn't it? Yeah, me and my daughter went to watch that. Which, you know, to be fair, it wasn't bad. It was like a feature-length episode of the series, you know, so you either like it or you don't. This year seems to be getting whacked from what I've seen, and people are really hating on it, but for some daft things, you know. Yeah, I know it's not historically accurate and what have you, but it's a movie, you know. Don't expect them to, you know, try that hard to make things historically accurate, because most people, like the general public, people in our hobby maybe would be more knowledgeable of, like, you know, weaponry and stuff like that, but the general populace don't really know these things and don't really care about them, so I think that's the thing. Okay, see you later, Goblin. The local cinema did the animated Robin Hood. Ah, see, the best Robin Hood. You know? Better than that Kevin Costner shite. I'm only saying that because I know, Crafty, you're a fan of the Costner. Excuse me, having a drink. So yeah. What else? Sorry, Crafty. I know. I'm attacking your childhood. Just gets me that he was, you know. Kevin Costner is a constant middle-aged man. So him playing like this young, dashing hero just felt weird to me. He's always just... I think when he was a kid, he was probably middle-aged. He's kind of got that vibe about him. So I couldn't get over that. It's, yeah. And then having Christian Slater as his younger brother or whatever it was. Yeah, that had completely lost me by that point. I haven't seen that Guy Ritchie version, but from what I can gather, I'm not missing very much. So, yeah. He aged perfectly. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So we all know that Crafty has bad taste in movies, so we'll move on from there. Oh, sugar, just got blue paint all over. Just completely messed up that. Let's try and dab it off. There you go. I think that's pretty much rescued. Braveheart. Yeah, Braveheart was good. I enjoyed Braveheart. You know, accepting it for what it was, I enjoyed it. It was a thing. I think Mel Gibson is an amazing actor. I know he's gone through his problems and fallen out of Hollywood favour, but I still like Gibson. I think he's a really talented actor and director. Yeah, yeah, Sean Connery. It was always, yeah, I don't know. Sean Connery was weird. He was never young either. Strange dude. I think it's It's like when they were on about, what's his name? Is it Paul Rudd? They showed pictures of him and he was thinking like, Paul Rudd, you know, he never ages. And then they showed a picture of the old guy from Cocoon and they were the same age in the pictures. And it's like, wow, people age differently these days than they did in the past. It's so strange. He's there. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did watch another film. I'm trying to think what it was called. Flight Risk? Flight Risk. Starring Mark Wahlberg. Directed by Mel Gibson, actually. That's why it came to mind. I watched that the other night with my wife, because my wife wanted to watch it. Not a bad film. Not a bad film at all. Considering there's like, for 90% of the film, there were 3 actors in the entire film. It was, it wasn't bad. Mark Wahlberg shaved his head and he was bald, which was really weird. So weird. Seeing Mark Wahlberg balding, like, top of his head, which is, very odd. So any good film recommendations from you guys? Anything I should watch? And not Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Sorry, popping my knuckles. Probably making everybody scream now. So yeah, that was fun. What else should we do? Can't quite get my camera as close as I would usually. Not my camera, my magnifying glass. So I'm kind of painting around stuff with my current painting setup. So might not be quite as brave trying to get close details, minute details even. Leave that for off stream. Yeah, I think she's turning out pretty good. Black Phone. Yeah, my wife and my daughter watched it. I haven't seen it yet. And they said it was really good. And there's Black Phone 2 now, isn't there? Late Night with the Devil. Don't know that one. But yeah, Black Phone was my daughter actually. Yeah, I'm gonna have to write that down. I'll have to try and remember. Let me get my little post-it. So Black Phone and Late Night with the Devil. That sounds like it might not be my wife's kind of thing. Old 90s film. Late Night with the Devil. Old 90s film. Beast I watched the other day. Any good? I watched with my daughter. A film I've seen 100 times, but I actually finally bought the Blu-ray for, because I thought I had to try it out on my eldest daughter. If I say the quote, let me think of a quote from it and see if you guys guess it. Abby someone. Anyway, I'll see if you can get it from that quote. But yeah, I enjoyed the film. Black rim of the base. final quote before I actually say what the film is. Frau Blucher! There you go. Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed watching it together. It's strange watching a film that I watched when I was younger with my daughter. That we're going through them at the moment, so it's quite fun. Young Frankenstein, of course, was the movie. Funny film, really funny film. Didn't realise Gene Wilder co-wrote the film. I thought it was all Mel Brooks, but apparently not. Marty Feldman was hilarious in it as Igor. Really enjoyed that film. So towards the end of this video, rather than just sort of blathering away and not actually painting, I have got a few things to show. Brought to my little show and tell so that anyone can see some interesting things. Unfortunately, I can't bring some of the items I would like to show because they're historic weapons and stuff, and you're not allowed to show those on live streams, which is unfortunate, but I suppose I can see why. Try out my second camera set that I've set up and see if that actually works, or whether I've completely messed up those settings. We will see. Keep going off camera. There it is. I think I got it zoomed in maybe a little too much. Yeah. I would love to show them on the live stream. I really would, because I think you guys would really you'd get something out of it. But apparently you're not allowed to show any weaponry, antique, obsolete, legal, or whatever. You're not allowed to show them on live streams, but you're allowed to show them on YouTube, which is a strange thing that you can show them on YouTube, but just not on a live stream. Don't know if they're scared that I'm going to accidentally stab myself with, you know, an old cavalry saber, which would be something to manage to stab myself with it, seeing that the thing's quite long. But yeah, so it's a strange rule, but it is a rule on YouTube that you can't show that, so unfortunate. I don't know, yeah. Farming tool. The thing I've got to show, actually, it's not it's nothing that can be offensive to any of YouTube's sensibilities, but it was an interesting thing, actually. It's my brother's, and he only got it today, actually. It just arrived earlier, so I'll get to show that, which is quite cool. Also going to try and paint up this little lady my brother bought, so a Alice in Wonderland sitting on like a toadstool and what have you, which is rather cool. Doesn't seem to be a lot of people in the chat today. I don't know if maybe the warm weather's got them out and about. But hopefully people will be watching in the VOD. Here. Yeah, again, don't know where he got any of these things from. My brother's purchases are something of a mystery. I got no idea. He just turns up with stuff and there you go. So that's one I have to paint for him. And then I'll have to move on to the squig. I've been putting it off, but I'm gonna have to move on to that squig. It's being beckoned to me by my wife. She's thinking like, well, have you started that miniature yet? And I'm yeah, I will. I even bought some new colours. When I popped into Swansea with Goblin, I bought some new colours. So I got this like darkish red for the base tone. God, that's looking brown. It's actually a very deep red. But for like the deeper recesses of that pink squig that I'm going to be doing. So yeah, I bought a bright pink, but I haven't brought that in here with me because I figured I didn't need a bright pink. It's not a colour I use that often. Let me just fiddle with this for a second. Okay. Yeah. Goblin's putting up pictures of his food on Discord channel. Discord channel, rather. Not discourse. That sounds like. Let me just. That was my chair squeaking before anyone says anything. Just remind my Discord people I'm live. There you go. I've got an echoey. Let me look. What have I done? Probably messed something up. Am I still echoey? Of course, now there's a delay. I have to wait to see whether I'm still echoey or not echoey. But yeah, OBS I think is going to be a good thing for recording. Maybe not for live streaming. It's a little bit weird to do the live stream. Still echoey. Okay. The only thing I did was turn my volume down. Am I still echoey? If I carry on having problems, I might end up having to just switch back to the YouTube streaming. Yeah, I don't know. It's still showing the same. Weird. Discord open. Yeah, is that what's doing it? Is it? So if I close Discord. So if I close Discord, has that gone? Does it not like Discord? Is there rivalry between Discord and OBS? Let me quit Discord. Okay. Has it still echo? Still echo? Okay. Do you know what? I got a feeling I'm gonna have to. Audio settings. I don't know what's causing that. Is it a cool echo though? You know? Is it making me sound like Sean Connery from the start of Highlander? Hang on, is the microphone picking up the sound? No, it shouldn't be. Yeah, well, wow. Whoops. Okay. Let me get rid of my other camera. That was my wide angle. Get rid of you. Go away. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. How's that? Is that any better? I think I might have done it. I think I might have activated the second camera. I think you might have been right. Hey, yeah, Mook, hello. How you doing? I did notice it was you that was saying that because I was fiddling with the camera. Am I still echoing? Or do I sound a little bit more human now? Right, yeah, so my second camera, unfortunately, was strangely picking up, which was weird. I don't know why it was doing that, because I didn't activate it. I was going to activate it when I wanted to do the overhead shot, which I still probably could do, actually. Yeah, no clue. New system, OBS, not sure about. Sounded like I was in a big hall. Well, you know, it's talking to you guys, you know, I have to step down from my throne and, you know, shout into the hallway. But it sounds okay now, yeah? Gee, busy cricket. So, yeah. I can't even remember what I was talking about when I went off on one there. Now, okay. Thank you. Yeah. There's reasons why I don't handle technology. But, you know, the votes that I put up, whether or not to go with two cameras, was quite close. But it was a yes, actually. Most people were kind of... It was on like 50-odd% when I put the Discord and the YouTube votes together. It was 50-odd% of them reckoned, you guys, reckoned that I should go with two cameras. So I'm blaming you guys. I have to learn new skills. And I got this weird delay, so, you know, I'm talking away, but no one's actually responded to me very quickly because I've got this delay, which I'm not used to. But, yes. Yeah, quite happy with how she's looking. Have to use some wash on her bag. But I don't know if I got the right... Yeah, I could try some soft tone. Try some soft tone on her little satchel that she's got. Get some colour on it. How are you, Ook? Have you been up to much? You busy at work? How's life up north? Showing me some books he had acquired about Wales the other day, and he puts me to shame. He probably owns more history books on Wales than I do now, which is shameful. Yeah, I think I need a darker shade than that. That wash isn't particularly dark, so it's not making the shadows that I want it to make. Yeah, probably. It was like I said. It was when I added them all up. It was like 50 something percent wanted, 2 cameras, and 30 odd percent wanted 1, and then it was like one person who had said they didn't really give a shit with how many I had. Which, yeah, that person, whoever you are, you're my spirit animal. I thought that was quite amusing. Surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, on the internet, quite blunt. I quite like that. That was quite. I found that quite amusing. I did put it as an option, so someone must have decided, yeah, I'm going to use that option. I couldn't care less. I think I put it down as, and they clicked on that, which I thought was funny. Yeah, I haven't opened them yet. Oh, okay. You ready for another vacation? That's the thing, you know. Get yourself used to being off work and all, and then you're hit with work again. It's terrible. Poor guy. Right, shall I show you? So on our Discord channel, we have set up a challenge for a mini diorama using like a beer mat or a coaster or something along those lines. Something quite small that you can make a diorama with. And this is my finished diorama. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very clearly. So, got a bit of dust on it already. That's cool. So, it's on a coaster. So, coaster size. We got like a commander or someone pointing at the beastie climbing the wall. And then these two in the foreground trying to climb up out of a... I'm not quite sure if it's like a pit down into, you know, down into the abyss, or whether it's like a tar pit. I'm not quite sure. But, you know, the story is, you know, these people are explorers on an uncharted planet. They've landed, and you know they've got themselves into a whole heap of trouble. But yeah, I think it looks kind of cool. I would pop up to the wider angle camera I'm using, but as we know, that sort of turns into a weird echo chamber, and I think maybe that might be a bad idea for me to fiddle. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it. So if I had to say like a takeaway from doing my first ever diorama, because I've never done one before, I think technique is obviously important, but it's not that important. I think the story that it's telling is more important. So if you get a story in your head and go with it, I think that's more important than the actual outcome. But I really enjoyed it. I've never done a diorama before, but yeah, no, probably will do another one. And I do like it being kind of small. I can, I can knock it out in like a week or whatever. Get it done. Because I lose interest if I'm doing the same stuff over and over again. So yeah, I enjoyed doing that. It was quite a fun little challenge. So if anybody wants to take part, the challenge is still open until the 20-something of this month. I can't remember exactly when I've said that it's going to close, but yes, it is be open until the 20-something. Are those Dungeons and Lasers? These guys? Yep. These guys? These guys are Oathmark, Frostgrave, Formaturge 2 kit, I think they're called. So they're in the blister kit. If that's what you're on about. I do actually have my Dungeons and Lasers characters off to the side. I was thinking of maybe snipping some out and doing a bit of excuse me, a bit of sort of putting together of some miniatures, but maybe later. Oh, thank you. See, a bit of a delay. I've just caught up with you what you've written. Thank you, Yamook. Thank you, Crafty. Yeah, I liked it. I think it kind of captured the story I wanted it to capture. So yeah, and I like terrain making, so it's a bit of a surprise, really. That I've never done a diorama, because if you like making terrain, that's basically what a diorama is. Just it's on a smaller scale. Let's get some skin tone on this thing. Don't know whether to paint her up Alice in Wonderland sort of oldie cartoony. Probably those sort of colours are kind of ingrained in us, aren't they? So I think it would be a bit strange if she was wearing different colour outfit. Start off at this tone of skin and then probably pale it up a bit. Can't see because I've gone off camera again. Yeah, and then tone it up paler because Alice in Wonderland is quite a pale child. Who's probably hallucinating about talking rabbits and what have you. Spoiler. Spoiler alert, It's only like 40 years old or whatever, the cartoon, and the books are even older, so yeah. I actually was out and about the other day. I went to HMV. See, we still have HMVs here in Wales. I don't know if you do it in England, Crafty, but like I said, it's not the store I remember. It's a very much a geek culture store now, more than a music hip happening place, But yeah, I went there and I spotted a film and I was very tempted to buy it so I could send it actually to Yamook. I saw the Englishman who went up a hill and came down a mountain, but I didn't get it because I wasn't sure then if your DVD players play the same DVDs as British DVD players. So I was toying with the idea, and then I was going to ask you for your address to send you this DVD, but unfortunately I didn't get you it, so because I started questioning myself of whether or not your country uses the same DVD codes as ours. I haven't seen it in years, but yeah, I saw it in the shop and I was like, oh, we were on about that the other day, and yeah. Get some skin tone on her. She's wearing quite high socks, but you can see a bit of knee, so I have to try and remember to put some skin tone on her knees. I have to bring up a reference what she looks like from the cartoon, because it's been a while since I watched Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, we'd have tracked you down, Yamook. We'd find out where you live. We have ways. No, obviously. I'll try to make sure that was alright with you too. That was another reason why I was thinking, maybe I won't, just in case. Just in case you're like, no, I don't want this weird YouTuber having my address. Shit. There goes the camera. Looks okay. Yeah, so that was the other reason why I didn't do it. Yeah. So yeah, being the summer holidays, of course, girls are home, so planning on this week sometime going to Raglan Castle. Lovely looking, lovely castle. Been there once before. Out Newport way. So a bit of a trek for me, but it's a really nice castle. Really intact. Our phone, the Scandinavian Special Forces spins out what secret agency he works for. Yeah, you know, we figured this last stream that Yamook was actually some top secret spy sort. You know, but I think he's very much a gentleman spy. You know, he's going to be a tuxedo wearing, you know, Finn. But okay, yeah, I think we probably do have the same systems, but I wasn't 100% sure. Because there's a bunch of different things. Is Asia has got their own as well, haven't they? I think Australia has got their own. I think all of Europe, I think, pretty much follow the same DVD codes. So, darn it. There you go, Nordic. See, he's very territorial too, Crafty. He must be in the Special Forces. Hello, Danny. How you doing? I'm on a bit of a delay because I am trying OBS out, so everything's a bit sort of a bit delayed. Excuse my coughing again. You missed the echo chamber that I managed to get going, which I think gave some people sort of acid flashbacks from their younger days. Oops, I'm off camera again. What have you been up to, Danny? Anything interesting? Anything you want to share? Okay, so I think Alice is... Did she wear a blue dress with a white pinny? Was that what she wore? It's been a while. Let me see if I can open a browser page without actually causing everything to go crazy. Alright, blue dress, white pinny. Okay. I have to click back all those things now. There you go. So blue dress and a white pinny. Okay, it is sculpted in. That's one thing. At least I won't be able to. Don't have to try and paint in a pinny which isn't there. They have actually done it. So what colours do I use? Let me start with that one as the base colour. I'll work from there. Prussian blue. Nice sounding blue. Just stuck my finger on a skin tone. I nearly said it. I just stuck my finger on her knee, but then I thought that might sound a bit dodgy, so I corrected myself pretty quickly. And then I went and told you anyway, so you know, that kind of yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was gonna go into Raglan, check the castle out. Nice castle. What else have we got planned for this week? Gonna try and get a bit more walking in. Try and get a little bit fitter. I haven't been going to the gym since the summer, since it warmed up a bit, so I have to try and get some steps in instead. Madness Returns style. Madness Returns. Don't know that reference there, Yamuk. Is that computer game? I think it is, isn't it? It's that computer game. Old PC game where Alice wakes up in a mental... Yeah, I thought I... When I said I didn't know it, then it twigged on me what you meant. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know if my brother would appreciate me painting his Alice as... in that sort of style. I think he's expecting traditional Alice more than... Yeah, more of a gothic look. Yeah, I kind of remember. A bit more noir style, maybe. Never played the game, so Yeah, but I think I remember seeing the cover art around quite a bit. My daughter, it was on Steam, it was on sale, so I bought my daughter and myself a copy of Peak. So we're gonna have fun pushing each other off cliffs later. I've seen a lot of people playing it on YouTube, so I think it might be quite a fun game for me and her to play. Yeah, Crafty. Whenever you have to go, go. Don't get yourself into pain just to watch me paint. So yeah, I might actually put that up at some point as a stream on my other channel. Me and my daughter playing Peak. But yeah, for £3 I was thinking like, well, okay, I'll buy that just on the off chance that we might actually enjoy it. But my daughter gets a lot of pleasure out of killing me in games, so I don't fancy my chances. She's going to be chucking me off every cliff that she finds. As is her right, you know, I am her father, so, you know. Everybody knows that, you know, parents deserve what they get. Speaking of which, Danny, how's your little one doing? And you, Mook? How's your not so little ones doing? Your family's okay? Trying to keep her on camera, but I think I've zoomed in a bit too much this time, and I keep moving her out of camera shot. Not quite good enough to be able to paint looking at the screen and not through my magnifying glass. I think the disconnect from my brain to my hand goes way off. Okay, that's nice. That's good, Danny. All right. No problem, Danny. I met up with Goblin, not Crafty. It was Goblin this time. He was down in actually in Swansea. He came to visit me there, and we wandered around, and he expected me to show him the sights, and of course I don't know Swansea at all. So we ended up walking around in circles a lot. But we did go into the Slug and Lettuce, which is a bar, where everybody was dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls, which was, yeah, apparently there's something going on down in Singleton, which is Singleton Park. There's often like events being held there, and there was some country music event going on there. So yeah, people wandering around Swansea dressed up as cowboys and cowgirls, which was, yeah, kind of weird. So, but no, it went well. It was nice to meet him. Never met a goblin before. Very polite dude, very friendly. Met his lovely wife. Met his daughter and family briefly. But yeah, it was a nice time. But kind of, meeting people you've never actually met on, in reality is kind of strange when you meet them in real life. But I think it went well. We didn't actually talk very much about the hobby, which is, I think we both planned on talking about the hobby, maybe even recording something, but just didn't turn out that way, meeting the person for the first time, you feel a little bit awkward sticking a camera in their face or, what have you. So we just had a general chat, just gone over her pinny. Okay, here, getting accustomed to return to school again. Yeah. You're already back, are you? We still got a few weeks yet. Another 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Another 3 weeks, I think, before our youngest is back in school. Gonna be starting her studies for GCSEs. So yeah, some busy times coming up for her. Yeah, get your steps in, you mook. I'll say that you will get your steps in if you get me as a tour guide. The problem is I don't know Swansea all that well. Although it's my nearest city, I never go there. So asking me to show you around a city I never go to, apart from I know where all the hobby shops are, but apart from that, I don't really know anything in Swansea. I could show you around, the castles, like, in South Wales. I could do that, because I know where they are. I could take you to some nice touristy spots, but just don't ask me to show you around the city, because I very rarely go in. And when I do, it's with a purpose. I don't spend any more time in Swansea than I have to. Next week. I thought you meant you. I'm showing you around next week. I thought that. Give me a bit more notice, you move. Right. Okay. They're going back next week, is it? Okay. Yeah. We got a while yet. We're still sort of not even halfway yet. I don't think through the summer holidays, which is good for us because I enjoy having the kids home. But yeah, got my wedding anniversary coming up. Is it next week? No, a week after. So have to think about what we're going to be doing for our anniversary. And we always buy like something for the house for our anniversary. It's just something that we always do, but I haven't got a clue what we're going to be buying for the house this year. Rather than buying each other, presents, we usually buy something, that we maybe not need, but we wouldn't generally buy ourselves, but something for the house. So, like we bought garden furniture one year because, it's something that we could both use and we both sit out in the garden, etc. But this year, not so sure what we're going to do, what we're going to get. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Crafty. Yeah. Lucky guy. My daughter creaking through the doorway. So yeah. Probably. We've been thinking about buying some IKEA furniture for the, the bedroom, so that might be what we'll end up buying for our anniversary. So I'll probably spend most of our anniversary putting this stuff together, trying to learn Swedish. To be fair, the instructions I usually find pretty easy to follow. Being model builders that we are, you know, we're pretty good at following instructions, so and probably missed loads of spots, but just looking like I'm hitting roughly what I'm meant to be hitting. Thank you, Yumi. God, look at that. Can even put graphics up. That's beyond me. I can't do that. Emojis? What are they? I'm just gonna cough. There you go. Trying to think, was there? Just been to IKEA today. Kallax is handy. Well, that's what I'm kind of thinking for our bedroom. I'm thinking of buying a load of Kallax, and you know the drawers that you can get with them, and the cupboard doors, etc., and using them as, you know, clothes storage, etc. Because at the moment we got like about 4 different chests of drawers, and they're all mismatched and they look terrible. And I need a place also to put my. We got a TV that we watch when we're upstairs, so I'm figuring if I can sort of figure out how many of those bookcases I need and what configuration, we can have a bunch of them for our clothes, and then have the TV sort of mounted in between in a gap. The fake plants are good for terrain. Yeah. I'm load and load from a store in the UK called B&M. So I've got hundreds of plastic plants which I've torn apart and all, and they're in this big carrier bag, so I probably will never need fake plants ever again. I got way too many of them, but yeah. Something that I really want for our house is some more actual plants. I'm terrible with plants. Awful. Kill everything. But I would like to have some plants in the house. But I do know that my cats would end up eating every plant that we have. And yeah, that doesn't sound good. I don't think it'd be very good for my cats eating, you know, spider plants or whatever. But yeah, I've heard it's really good for sort of conditioning the air and all in your house. But I think our cats would just eat everything, and we'd end up with sickly cats. So, but yeah, I've always think I'd like to have some more plants in the house, but I think they would be within minutes. So, Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to live without, I think. Do the stalk of this giant mushroom she's sitting on. Stem, stalk, whatever. Start with a grey and we'll go up to a ivory colour. So we want that kind of cartoon pop, I suppose. Same here, yeah. Cats are bane to any greenery. My brother's got a cat and he's got a bunch of cactuses, so I think he figured that they'd be okay, but the cat keeps walking off with little cacti chunks in her mouth. So yeah, his idea that they'd be safe is not working, because she somehow manages to pluck the cacti and ends up walking around with these little mini baby cacti being dropped around everywhere, like little caltrops for my brother's feet when he's walking around. But yeah, see people they've got cats and they've got plants, and I'm just like, how the hell are they surviving? Don't know if they're maybe they're just really good artificial plants, because I've never been able to get a plant to grow beyond a certain point before my cat eats it. I think they think they're jungle cats or something, and they start climbing around them and chewing on them. I was growing up, my family had loads of plants in their house, and I think that's probably why I'm kind of drawn to the idea of having some greenery in our house. But yeah, we had plants when I was growing up too. I don't know why the cats left. Why my cats when I was a child left the bloody things alone, because my cats won't. Better behaved cats. Back in the day when cats knew how to behave themselves. Yucca plants, yeah. Well, you know, helps with the cat's digestion. I would have thought the yuccas, you know, not a bad one to chew on. If you're gonna chew on a plant, chew on a yucca. You know, they're good for you. Although the fact that you say my late cat, it wasn't maybe very good for your cat. Sorry to say that, you mook. That sounds mean. Sorry. The yucca's still alive, but the cat is not. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that. I should. The plant had the last yucca. Ah! Oh my goodness. What the hell's that? Monstera. I'm presuming it's a plant. I'm really not up on plants. But Monstera sounds like it would be Audrey from or Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. let that dry a little bit. Push that back. Okay, so it's time for my little show and tell. So, yeah, my brother had an antique delivered today, and I thought maybe you guys might actually be interested in it. Something kind of historical that we might be, excuse me, sort of interested in. So I'll show you that. Don't know how to show you it best. Okay, like that. Okay, so it's a watch. Can anyone tell me what type of watch it is? Right. It's a cool thing. It's weird because it's got like the hinge by here. So it can hinge out because of the type of watch it is. So this is a British officer's trench watch from World War One. An old one. Yeah, it's a very old one. So this is, yeah, like I said, it's a watch that a British officer would have worn during World War One in the trenches, etc. Still got its original strap, which is remarkable. No, it doesn't have anything like that. But apparently, because wristwatches were very new at this point, they built them like pocket watches. So that's why it's got a little hinge by here to get to the workings, etc. Is because they built them like pocket watches. So yeah, it's a nice piece, and they that's why they got this sort of, don't know if you can see, yeah. They just sort of connected these brackets to it to put a strap through. Because they were used to making pocket watches, and it was like, yeah, well, you know, that kind of works if we just strap a pocket watch to someone's wrist. So it's meant to glow a little bit, because obviously the trenches were quite dark, etc., and often nighttime attacks, etc. So it is meant to glow a little bit, but as far as I can tell, this one doesn't glow that well. But it is quite reflective and quite beautiful, to be honest. And really small as well. So I've got a fairly average wrist. There's my wrist. I put it down there. See how small it is? It's a dirty little watch. But apparently the straps, often they had those bigger straps that you could strap this into. So you have, you know, the second strap attached to it. But I did notice that, you know, considering I'm not a particularly big guy, I would not be able to wear this watch. Because, like, traditionally, or anatomically, people were a good bit smaller back in World War One era. So there you go. I couldn't even get it to the first clip. So yeah, there you go. That was my little show and tell of a World War One trench officer's watch. Where did I get it? My brother actually bought it from an antique dealer. My brother is really into his antiques and has some really fascinating stuff that I will be able to show, and I will show. I'll bring it on the channel to show you maybe one or two things like every stream, just so that, you know, I can show you guys, because I figured you guys might be interested in this sort of thing. But yeah, I'm amazed by it, and it still works actually. I'm not going to try and wind it up, because knowing me, I'll break the mechanism, but it still works. And when you wind it up, it's a really sort of fast-paced ticking mechanism that goes away. It's like really clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack goes on, which is really cool. I'm not quite sure what this little pin here is for. Maybe it's for changing the time or something, but I'm not going to fiddle too much because it's not mine to break. But yeah, it's a wonderful piece, and yeah, really interesting. My brother buys all sorts of antiques, which I'm not interested in. But this guy, I was really interested in. I was really quite amazed by how good how well it's lasted considering how old it is. Yeah, my brother's quite good like that. He lets me borrow his stuff. I am his official taxi. So it's like I can blackmail him. You want to go somewhere, you have to let me have a look at your antiques. Like I said, I have got loads of other antiques I can show you on the channel. There are a bunch that I can't show you on the channel because I'm not allowed to show you anything that can be considered a weapon, because he does have a really nice Wilkinson sword cavalry saber, which is it's a beautiful piece. Maybe at some point I'll take a picture of it so you can see it in the Discord, because that is a really nice blade. And of course, made by Wilkinson Sword. You know, the people who make the razors. Before they made razors, they made really nice sabers for officers, etc. Okay, so the old glow-in-the-dark stuff was radium. There was a story about the woman who painted it onto things like that, compass and some of the first sights on guns. They, however, got reading Crafty's message here. Radioactive, and this is the point where Crafty tells me that I am handling something which, is going to take a few years off my life. I'm assuming it dyes the glow of it after a while, whatever it was. The radioactive poisoning from looking at the brushes. I knew this was going there. And jaws fell off over horrific injuries. There's a good book about them, and I was. Oh wow! Okay, that's on that merry story, Crafty. Wow, you know how to come up with some nice stories. I don't know if it was the same company, because like Wilkinson Sword, the razor company, they made sabers originally. That's kind of, they cut their teeth, so to speak, in making cavalry sabers and officers' sabers, etc. But as like obviously that sort of business kind of dropped out, as we started to use more firearms, etc. They went more over to making, high quality razor blades to cut, your beard, etc. and shaving. So Wilkinson sword blades are quite famous for that. It's only if I eat it. Okay, well, I wasn't planning on eating my brother's nice antique watch, but, thanks for the warning. Wilkinson patented the Mark I bayonet. Okay. Oh, good night, ice cream girls. Okay, Wilkinson patented the first Mark I bayonet. Alright, okay. Yeah, well, it was their expertise, they went from making swords to making blades of other kinds, because obviously the demand for sword making was dying out at that point. We have a bayonet from the Japan-Russia War. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that sort of stuff. I love seeing, like, history. You can touch. It's amazing when you can touch it and look at it. And yeah, I don't know. Stephen Fry might do that to you, Crafty. Yeah, well, it's yeah, it's fascinating. And I do have lots. Like I think he's got I'm gonna say a World War One British trooper's helmet. I think, although I could be wrong about that. It could have been a fire warden's helmet from like the London Blitz and stuff, but I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was a trench helmet he's got. So yeah, I'm gonna have to bring a few things on so that you can see, you know, see some more of his antiques, etc. But yeah, I definitely need to show you some of his non-YouTube friendly items so that you guys can see them, and you know, I think you'd enjoy it. So what do you reckon? Do you reckon keep this as a part of the live stream going forward? You know, me bringing stuff on to show and tell you bits about his collection. It'd be interesting to know whether you want me to. I got a cracking book on one of your fellow Nordic, Simo Hoya. Okay. I'm not familiar with the name, so I'm assuming you're talking to Yamuk. Well, thank you. I'm glad that you like it, because, yeah, like I said, I've got a lot of things. Well, my brother's got a lot of things I could show you, and I think you guys would find interesting. It's just unfortunate I can't show you some of the things which I think you'd find most interesting, like a brown bass. We got a rat tail musket pistol or flintlock pistol. Yeah, got a good bunch of stuff which I'd love to show you, but I'm not allowed to on YouTube, or not allowed to on YouTube live streams anyway. World 2 soldier, a bit of a legend, okay? I'm not even going to try and say that name. Was cool, literally. But he was a humble man, didn't brag about it. Oh, it's always best when they don't brag about it too much. Yeah, an amazing human being considering what he went through. Okay. Huh. I'll have to look him up. Let me scribble it down on the back of this bit of paper. Simo Hoya. Saying that all wrong, I know. Check him out. Yeah, it's a stupid bloody thing, you know. I don't know. Well, you can show them on YouTube, Danny. I could show you the brown bass on YouTube. Apparently, reading what they say, but I'm not allowed to show you brown bass on YouTube streaming, which I'm assuming it's to make sure that I, you know, don't accidentally shoot myself with a weapon which is basically decommissioned because it's an obsolete firing weapon. So no one that I would know of has got any ammo for such a weapon. You know, I'm not going around making any balls for a musket rifle, but you know, that's what YouTube has decided, and that's what we have to live with, is the fact that YouTube doesn't want anyone showing you any sort of weaponry on live streams. Yeah, I hear that a lot of you Nordic people were very good at sharpshooting, you know, during the World Wars, etc. And of course, you Mook, you know, with your assassin training, you know, you're probably very good at sharpshooting as well. It probably is Goblin, but it's weird that you're allowed to show it on YouTube, but not on live streams. Which, it's a weird choice. So So I'm not really feeling the painting mood at the moment. So I thought maybe, seeing that we're kind of doing the show and tell, I dug out an old box I haven't looked in for years of my old miniatures. So I thought maybe show you a few of these old guys while I'm here. Some of them might even be painted, so you might be able to see some of my early paint jobs, which a normal video could be monitored. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, the unexpected of a live stream and what have you. So I don't know. Oh god! Don't look at the colours. Don't look at the paint job. So these guys were painted with poster paint from a very young Welsh miniature board gamer. Wow. Okay, they're pretty bad. So these are really old Citadel plastics. These were like, I'm gonna say they were the first plastics done by Citadel, and you could get. Let me see if I got any other ones. Hey, just threw a miniature across the room. They're older than some of the people watching, probably. You know, these things are pretty ancient. So they were white plastic, and there was orcs. They were drow, as they were called then. They didn't even call them dark elves, they just called them drow. Chaos elves, yeah. Then there was the dwarves. And there was an elf. Oh, there we go. I got an elf. I didn't think I had any of the elves here. There was elves. And Skaven. Those are the ones I had anyway. Skaven on top there. Those are the ones I had. And yeah, they were, like I said, I think they were the first plastics GW or Citadel did, which was yeah, kind of cool. But yeah, this weird white plastic. I wonder what they'd be like to paint actually. Yeah, I'll have to give them a little clean and give it a go. See what I come up with. See what they're like. But yeah, I use poster paint, so that's why the paint jobs were interesting and didn't last. Oh, there you go. There were goblins as well, apparently. That's the same white plastic. Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. Goblin. I got metal miniatures which make these guys look new. So yeah, it was fun. It was fun to I was quite glad when I spotted these, because I noticed the box and I was like, okay, I'll close that box up and I'll come back to it. I'll see that one. That one I must have painted a little bit later because he's actually green. he might actually pass for an orc. Why I painted that with purple and red, I've got no clue. I was young. Well, there you go. We got some of the old Advanced Hero Quest man-at-arms dudes. Right. Nice little miniatures, actually. They're quite decent. They look comparable to like today's quality, I would say, as opposed to these guys, which would be, yeah, I don't think they are particularly high quality sculpts, or they were for the day, but not so much now. What else have we got in here? Oh, we got there you go. That's kind of when I was doing my painting, when I first started really using proper paints and what have you. But yeah, washes weren't a thing at that point, so I didn't use any washes. Yeah, yeah, I probably will paint them again. There was a excuse me, I'm gonna cough. There was a point when I was doing some videos of like me painting my old miniatures again, retro painting, I think I called it. And I did a few miniatures, but yeah, I'll have to go back to it because I quite enjoyed painting some of the old ones. Yeah, that was in that was in my first and only, no, not my only, my first big box of Games Workshop stuff. So it was a Bretonians versus Lizardmen, was it? Warhammer Fantasy. Yeah, maybe to some of them I could just add washes and, you know, maybe do a highlight on the face, etc. You know, pick out some details, but keep the actual original paint job a little bit. See, now, one of my brother's friends, he was a bit more of a skilled painter, and he painted him, and he does look a little bit more, a little bit better than my shoddy work. He's a bit chipped now because he's been a bag for 20 plus years. So yeah, they're a bit battered, some of them. There you go. Now we're talking. Now, this is when Chaos Warriors were cool. I love these metal Chaos Warriors. My cat meowing in the background. These are the ones I used to go into the store just to pick up the Chaos Warriors because I was in love with the Chaos Warriors. You know, a little weird little peg leg like dude. He's not. I just noticed that's Flash holding him up. I thought that was a peg leg. My eyesight's terrible. Yeah, but cool. He's wearing like a skull. Oops. Skull on top of his head. Those curly shoes. Be in the mail, Crafty. I'll give you one of the old Yorks. No problem. I got enough of them. There you go. That could be something that we could do. Crafty, Goblin, and myself painting up. I will send each of us one of these old school orcs and we can paint it up and see what we come up with or whether we can do anything with them. As you can see, my way of storing the old metal miniatures is by wrapping them up in toilet paper. So an elf? Why I bought an elf, I don't know. I can't stand the elves. As you can see, I've stripped him down at one point because he's still got a bit of the old paint left on him. I went through a phase where I was like, yeah, I'll repaint them. I'll strip everything down. So that's why I haven't got an awful lot of stuff. Yeah, firstborn will be posted tomorrow. Yeah, you don't have any children, do you, Crafty? There you go. And then I got like this. What's he? Champion of Corn, maybe? Let me get my magnifying glass in. Champion of Corn. There you go. He's a champion of Corn. Again, I painted them up years ago, but I've stripped them all back down. I'll probably try stripping them again to get them a little bit cleaner. But oh god, I love these Chaos Warriors. What's in here? This is all considered my Warhammer Fantasy stuff, so it's probably mostly Chaos Warriors. So there's another Chaos Warrior. Remnants of paint on them, but they were so cool. They were such cool miniatures. Yeah, this is a 28mm North Star. As you can see, the creep in size is amazing because if you think the Chaos Warriors were the size of a standard normal miniature these days. It's crazy how big they've come. How old is that tissue? Probably older than you, Crafty. It was yellow to begin with, don't worry. It hasn't discoloured that much. Alright, he's not such an old one. We have a Legolas. It was when I was collecting the Lord of the Rings miniatures, you know, the magazine. I did that for a little while. Didn't do it for very long, but I did it for a little while. And one of the things was a Legolas. I can't get over you asking how old the tissue paper is. It's actually probably not as old as the miniatures. I probably did this fairly recently. Alright, we've got a hand. That looks like a Gandalf hand to me. Oh, we've got a Lurtz, is it? The Uruk-hai dude. So, yeah. What was it? I don't make it like that they used to. Legolas is still 20 years old. Oh, is he? Okay, a tissue connoisseur. yeah, Crafty's a tissue connoisseur. He knows his... that sounds bad. He knows his toilet paper. We've got a Gandalf. As you can see, never painted these guys. I think I was a little bit intimidated by them because they're nice looking miniatures, and I was like, oh, do I want to ruin them? But yeah, that's Gandalf's hand there. Yeah, it's quite nice. Walking down memory lane with you guys, you know. When I was just a spry young thing. A Boromir. What? Sean Bean at his best. Gonna trigger a war with Crafty now as he tells me how sharp was Sean Bean at his best. Okay, okay. We don't make me feel older than I have to feel. Thank you very much, Crafty. Telling me that the Lord of the Rings films are like 20 years old. That's not nice. That is really not nice. Okay, there you go, Danny. So one, I've still actually got some paint on him, and I think I must have used, by the looks, enamel paints. Probably why I haven't stripped him is because I'm going to have to give him a good old soak. Some sort of cat-like Chaos Beast. Yeah, considering it's painted with enamel paint, that's not such a terrible job. But as always, lost the shields. I never had any clue where all my shields went for these miniatures, because you know, you put them somewhere and you can never find them again. But yeah, Gandalf, yeah, Balrog, Lute, and Gandalf versus the Balrog. Okay, yeah, like I said, it was from that it's called the D'Agostini, was it? You could collect the miniatures weekly, and it taught you how to play the game while it was at it. I never played the game, but I did have the magazines. So another oldie Chaos Warrior, kind of an Arabian-y looking one. Very old school. I think that's it. That's why I still like the old school miniatures, because I've got so many of them still around. And that's why I like Oathmark and Frostgrave miniatures, is because they got that old school, you know, they kind of fit in with them. Another Chaos Warrior. very beaky helmet. A very beefy looking sword. Some sort of weird like falchion. And finish this bag off anyway to show you guys anyway. Let's see if you guys want to see any more. Look at that, another Chaos Warrior. I said I had a problem. Okay, that Chaos Warrior has a booby. Yeah, exactly. It was a time when, you know, there was no such thing as computer designed. Kind of cool. It's got a bit of a Hero Quest gargoyle about him, hasn't he? Sort of that head shape or helmet shape. But yeah, that's why I like old miniatures, and people who try to recreate that sort of image is, I'm an old guy, and you know, I enjoy handmade stuff. Oh, this feels a small one. What's this one? Oh, there you go. It's a little Frodo? Yes, a little Frodo. Sting. I had actually more Lord of the Rings stuff than I thought. I didn't think I bought that much, but I stuck with the magazine for a little while before I quit it, as one usually does. Next time you are in Cardiff, you should have a look at the shop in the arcade, Galaxy something or other. They had a few old metal minis. I wish I picked them up, but this is Russian made. Ah, your wicked wife, Russian, you goblet. In the arcade, which arcade's that? Goblin. Is that the one by where Forbidden Planet used to be? I don't think Forbidden Planet's still in Cardiff, so I might be bringing up references that you don't even know. There you go, another Chaos Warrior. I'll never get rid of my Chaos Warriors and my some of my things, but I got some miniatures, older ones, which might be worth a little bit, which I probably at some point will try and put on eBay and see whether someone wants them, because it seems a bit of a waste them staying wrapped up in toilet paper. But yeah, I like this guy. He's got a nice pose. Didn't manage to clean in between his plates. But yeah, very old school Chaos Warrior. I like the way they're all kind of hunched. They all have back problems, the Chaos Warriors. It must be from lugging this heavy armor around all the time. Fossil shop. I've never seen a fossil shop in in Cardiff, so it shows how long it's been since I was actually in Cardiff. There you go, he's another champion of corn. He's been hit with the mutation by the looks. Look the way he's got a scorpion tail and kind of crocodile head, which is cool. Or crocodile helmet. Of course, when I did originally paint them up, I painted them up old school bright Chaos Warriors, you know, not these dark Chaos Warriors in modern era, you know, those bright pinks and oranges and reds and what have you that the old Chaos Warriors used to be in. Oops, another Chaos Warrior. Just in case you didn't realise, I've got a problem and I like Chaos Warriors. I shaved off the shield nub at some point. But yeah, very cool looking at some of the old stuff. Like I say, I got some old 40k stuff. Which, I don't know why I bought 40k stuff. I wasn't really into it back in the day. But there was sort of limited companies making miniatures. So I must have thought, what the hell, let's buy some 40k Space Marines or something at some point. And he got like a ram's head on top of his helmet. Kind of cool. And a murderous hammer. And it's a honking weapon he's got there. See, that's what comes from being in the hobby for so long. Is you end up having so many old miniatures that people haven't seen for maybe ever. It's kind of cool, actually. It's kind of nice to be able to share them and show them to people. My cat trying to send everything flying. This guy's got like one eye. Like a cyclops almost. But again, it's weird how they're, you know, comparable to a normal human miniature these days, which is quite funny because they, back in the day, like if I put them next to a elf of the same sort of rough era, you know, he's quite a bit clunkier. Of course, these are Chaos Marauders. These weren't Chaos Warriors. Yeah, these were the Chaos Flunkies. And what else have we got in here? Well, they're out of an old metal dark elf. Now some of these are probably my brothers because I wasn't into dark elves or anything, but my brother has very different tastes to me. His face is a little bit flattened, but not much actually. Yeah, oldie world toilet paper. Wow, yeah. See, it shows how young I must have been. I actually bought an elf. Wow. An elf champion, no less. So there you go. He's there was a time when I bought elves. 1987, I think that says. There you go. And it wouldn't have been long after that I bought him because I used to buy them when these things were still quite new. So there you go. Is there a date on that one? No, there's no date on the thing. 1987. There you go. I was 12. Some of you were hardly born, which is kind of amusing to me. Yeah, we got a bunch of these old plasticky ones. Some more Skaven, Hero Quest, Man at Arms, little gobbo, with that white plastic again. Got a Games Workshop Goblin. He's Advanced Hero Quest Skaven. Goblin was 5. Thanks for that, Goblin. That really makes me feel better. Wow. You wasn't even allowed to play with these metal ones. You know, you might get lead poisoning. Yeah, that's terrifying. I got loads more, but I don't want to bore you guys by just opening reams and reams of old miniatures, because you know you might not be at all interested in them. But yeah, I got tons of stuff. What are these? These are my plastic Lord of the Rings stuff box. I got some oldie plastic Space Marines. See, your mook was. You know, your mook was in the pub. See, he was. We got some of the old plastic Cadians, some Marines. These aren't that old, but yeah, he's a bit older. Knocked his head off, unfortunately, but like I say, I was not that interested in 40k even back then. So Marines have kind of just had a bit of a blue coat, and I'm done. We had it. See, he had a beaky helmet even. See, the old beakies. Weird rocket thing. No clue why I bought these guys. Because I was not into my Marines. Anybody know who they are? I got no clue. Look like paras. There you go, backpack. Hey. Yeah, we got a couple of those. 3rd edition Catashans, and the Beaky is the 2nd edition collectors. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. The Catashans I liked. I did like the Catashans because you know, I feel I could, you know, paint them up as Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know, running around the jungle. He's had a bit of an accident while shaving. But yeah, like that sort of stuff. I have no real soft spot for, so you know, I'll have to figure out what I'm going to do with those. Yeah. I'll see. Oh, found another Chaos Warrior just sort of lingering around. I like that helmet. It's got very sort of gladiators style, with a little like mesh. Yeah, more blood and guts. That sounds about right from you, Crafty. You violent man, you. My cat is causing havoc. What we got? Yeah, it's a chunky thing. Oh, there you go. I love these miniatures. So these are the Mithril miniatures from for Lord of the Rings, or Middle Earth. Bent sword, but they are beautiful miniatures. And these ones, it was so I could buy like a Games Workshop miniature or a Citadel miniature. So I could buy him for, say, well, I don't know, 50p, say, and then I could buy the Mithril miniatures for, say, £100, £200, £300, £400, £500, £600, £700, £800, £900, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,000, £1,0 But then these guys were like £1.50 because they were meant to be like some sort of collector's edition, you know, beautiful mithril miniatures they called. And I love these miniatures. Again, didn't paint many of them because I was worried about screwing them up, but I did paint this guy. Very rudimentary, but I will strip him down at some point and paint him up properly. Don't know quite who he's meant to be. I would have said a hobbit. I would have said what's it called, but he's a human size, so he's not Bilbo. Some sort of mirror or something, maybe. Not sure. I don't know. I've got bags of these things. I've got millions of them. Just there's some more 40k stuff. Oh, hang on. Might be of interest to you, some of these, because some of you guys are into your 40k, and some of these are very old. It could be crappy. It could very well be. Let's find some of the really old 40k miniatures just to make people feel sick that I do not like 40k and I own them. So I got him. Just simply Marine with beaky helm. I think these are like Rogue Trader era. Here we are, 87 again. Good year. I must have been buying all my miniatures back in 87. So yeah, as you can see, I haven't stripped him very well, but I can come back and strip him down a bit better. Feels like it might be another metal one. Oh, Sister of Baal. There you go. Lost her backpack somewhere. Yeah, I got a few of them. I got that. Do you know there was that beaky walking dude that they reissued as a limited edition recently, or not so long ago? I got the original one of him somewhere. There you go, some... I think they still make these guys, don't they? The Scouts. Kind of like them. I do like the Scouts. The Scouts look almost not over the top. So, yeah. This feels a weighty thing. Or is a few put together? One or the other? It's a few put together. There we go. Here's another oldie. Marine Captain. Haven't got the backpack, unfortunately. But he's an oldie too. So, maybe 87, maybe, possibly. But yeah, I know he's worth a little bit. Look, is he the dude from the box art for one of the 40k books or boxes, if I remember right? Kept him with his big chainsaw thing. And okay, some sort of Chaos Marine. I got a few of them. So again, lost the backpack because, of course, I did have. yeah, another, don't know what year he was. I'm guessing he's quite early on as well, because they changed the look of the Chaos Space Marines quite quickly. But yeah. Little Chaos dude. Just trying to make you all feel, wow, I think that one is one of the first Chaos Marines. There you go. Just want to make you all feel sick, because, you know, I'm not into my 40k. Another Marine. I do need to maybe eBay them off or something. Get someone to get some sort of enjoyment out of them. Like, because they have been painted, and, you know, I'd have to strip them a lot more. And, of course, they haven't got their backpacks off for them. I don't think they're going to be worth an awful lot. But, you know, anything I can make, I can always put back into the hobby. Now, this guy I know is quite an oldie. Again, Rogue Trader era. Even the... Wow. There's no even writing on the tab. So, yeah. Again, no backpack. So... There you go. Ooh, I found a sister's backpack. I think that's that's a sister's backpack. Unfortunately, not the old guys. You know, can't find their backpacks. Of course not. Although there is a chance I have got them somewhere. Another scout. Oh, there you go. There must be all the scouts I put together. Scout with shotgun. Like I said, the scouts I kind of liked because, you know, they didn't look like those big hulking, you know, stuck inside their armor miniatures, which I didn't really go for the aesthetic. There he is, old walking beaky, and he's the original one. He's not the There we are. He was an Imperial Marine. He wasn't the re-released anniversary edition. This is the original dude. Shows how old he must have been. They still had the backpacks sculpted onto their backs. Look at the pistol now, ring on him. And they didn't have proper bolters or lasers. They just had their own weapons. Which are double barrel, by the looks. Yeah, like I could strip him down quite easily. Yeah, I'm sure you could, but you know that you know makes the obviously they're not pristine or whatever. Oh, this guy looks like he's seen the wars. He's been battered around quite a bit. He's an oldie, but yeah, I'm not sure what the hell happened to this guy. Looks like he's been mangled by a dog. He's been chewed on. But yeah, maybe if I strip him down a bit better, maybe he'll look alright again. So he's just, yeah, Marine. Games Workshop, there you go. So they were Games Workshop at that point. Try not to clunk them around too much, you know. I do know that they are worth a little bit, and you know they're worth a lot to certain people. So I try to teach them with treat them with a little bit of respect, although not a lot because they are GW. Yeah, and then Scout. Another sister with a jetpack thingy. Oh, chuck a pack in with her. Oh, the jetpack was, I'm assuming, for her then. Kind of cool. I'll finish this bag off before I we close up the stream. Make sure that, you know, those people who actually like this stuff is feeling particularly sick and want me dead for just packing them away. Another sister. Let's see here. He's an oldie. Oh, he's another oldie. Again, nothing written on the tabs even. But again, no backpack. I like the way they had the dimple for you to do your little own designs on the shoulders, etc. They didn't have any, you know, wash-on transfers back in those days. Who are you? Oh, a Katashan. I would keep the Katashans because I think I could paint them up all right now. You know, and they're basically just, you know, sci-fi Vietnam miniatures, which are kind of cool. What are you? Another scout. And we're getting there. We're getting there. What are we seeing? Another bunch of Katashans. Katashan with a plasma, I'm assuming. Because I'm not in the 40k hobby anymore. I don't even know. Are Katashans still going? Or have they been killed off by some catastrophe? Oh, there you go. This is the demolition dude, maybe. And I'm guessing by the fact that I got that bit of the gun. Oh no! And a captain or sergeant with an eye patch. Of course, he got an eye patch. People keep getting their eyes poked out by their sharp, pointy sticks. I miss the links from the old school GW. They used to flow itself into the... yeah. Yeah, I did find a website which sort of had old catalogues of GW stuff, so it's quite fun. Sometimes I have looked through it and been like, oh yeah, I got that guy. Or, oh yeah, I got that guy. There we are, another old school Chaos Warrior. I think he's a Chaos Warrior. Oh, it doesn't say Chaos, so maybe he's just a Marine. But he looks kind of chaotic to me. Oh yeah, that's definitely a Chaos sign. Even I recognise that. That's a Chaos sign. Yeah, he's a Chaos Warrior. Chaos Space Marine. Yep, Katashan. That's Katashan. That's how I've always said it. Not that I'm any great, you know, authority on GW stuff, but yeah, that's what I would have said. Katashan. More Katashans. Oh, there, he's an old rogue trader era mini. Has he got any? What's he say? Trooper. There you go. He's kind of cool. I think he'd be quite fun to paint up. 87 again. Wow, what the hell? All the miniatures I have were trademarked in 87, so. More Katashans. Tank crew member? I'm not sure what he's from. Tashin. Oh, there's another old school rogue trader dude. Wait. Love the way they were all stooped over. They all had back problems, these guys. Katachan. Katachan? Katachan. Okay. I do pronounce it wrong then. And I'm guessing those are the old ones that I remember, so I'm guessing all of these are fairly newish. No, I lied. There's this dude. He's not a youngster. As you can see, I did paint him up in blue at one point. It's a bit of a... Still got some of the old, like, sprue. Not sprue, flash on him. There you go. Yeah, they aren't taught how to lift things or how to walk straight, these guys. GW does not like them being upright. So I got about 4 or 5 more. So he's another modernish scout. And what are you guys? Got a bunch of plastics rolling around. We got a Katashan. Katachan? Something like that. What are you? Another scout. 3 more. Another scout. Captain, maybe? Sergeant? Is it sergeant? So I'm going to assume they're right and I'm wrong. And what we got in here? Ooh, square base. Okay, another Katashin. Katachan? I'm gonna say it different every time I pronounce it. Heavy weapons loader. No more Katashin guard. Heavy weapons dude. Got the other bit that goes on to the front of it somewhere. And a melter gun. Yeah, I was thinking that. I the scouts I quite like the look of, but to be honest, yeah, I don't know. The Katachan are definitely something I would keep. I got a bit of a soft spot for them, but the rest of them are kind of, yeah, I'd be okay with flogging off on eBay or whatever. See if someone else wants to try and, you know, find some joy in them. This is where you get me back to Rages of the Deep. Yeah, Rages of Shadow Deep. See, that's my other box that of old miniatures that I've got, is miniatures that I can possibly repurpose for Rages of Shadow Deep. The only thing is, a lot of those are even older than these guys, because they are literally they're pre-Games Workshop, some of them, so they're all like 25mm, because obviously that was the standard before it went up to 28mm because of Games Workshop's weird little shift of, you know, not making everything huge. So yeah, so a lot of them would have to be very small people, or, you know, sort of Hobbit-like people. But there you go. That was a look through 2 of about the 8 bags that I have. of old miniatures. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that little walk down memory lane. Those Chaos Warriors could work in Rangers of Shadow Deep. They could be something from the Shadow Deep. And I would like to pick them up again. Actually, they kind of are cool, but I don't know if I should. Then you can strip them back. I know you can strip them back, so maybe I will. Maybe I will pick them up at some point. They are doing it again to 32mm after the 54. Yeah, that's, oh god, it's weird how Games Workshop likes to make everything bigger, so you need to buy new stuff. It's weird that it's like there's a plan behind it. An insidious plan. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed looking at those old miniatures. I hope you enjoyed seeing artifacts from the past, you know, if that's sort of real life artifacts such as the watch or miniatures artifacts. I hope you've enjoyed it, and it's been fun hanging out with you guys and kind of messing up my OBS, but not completely, so I'm going to take that as a kind of a win. Maybe not a complete win, but you know, kind of a win. Right, I'm going to do a little test before we go. Camera gone. Did that switch camera? It did, didn't it? Yes! And you doubters thought I could manage 2 cameras. There you go, see? Way. So yeah, I'm hoping you can still hear me. Danny, there's no problem. I was glad to see you coming out and enjoy. Glad you enjoyed Yamuk. My camera's saying that my input's saying that you guys can still hear me, even though I swapped over cameras. So I'm kind of hoping that you still can. Maybe I'll hold that in shot so you got something to kind of focus on. Oh. Camera switch and reverb. Okay, nice. Okay, maybe I should go back to the other slight echo, and it's upside down. No, you're upside down, Crafty. Okay, I kind of got hang of this. I'm going to switch back over to the other camera then for a minute. Damn it. I thought I'd figured that out. I thought I was being smart there. Okay, so that's okay though, right? Yeah. Ah, damn it. So yeah, still need to practice with this 2-camera shenanigans and slight echo. I don't know what that was. That's the right way up now, right? Yeah. Has Crafty got his head on the upside down again? Okay, well, but if you didn't pick on me, Goblin, how would I know you cared? It's for my own good. I know this. I know you're being mean for my own good. You're like a primary school teacher, you know. You can't help but point out that I'm stupid. Oh, wow. So, yeah. Will I try OBS again next time? Oh, there you go. Crafties, come to my aid. Yeah, I'll probably at some point I'll question you about the use of OBS because it's not an operating system I've ever used before, so it's a bit all new to me. Like I said, to make videos I use Movavi. I think that's what it's called. For live streams I've just used the inbuilt live stream from YouTube. But the trouble is with that, you can't use two cameras. So that was the only downside about that. But yeah, you know, first attempt, you know, come on. I only looked at this like 40 minutes before I started, so it's all kind of a blur of how to get things working. But yeah. So I'll give you a couple of minutes and then I will be packing up and I'll be wishing you a good night. I hope you guys have a restful night. Hope your back gets better, Crafty. Hope the rest of you are in better health than him. And yeah, all the best. Until next time, I'm going to say goodbye from me, Welsh Miniature Ball Gamer. Now, how do I end this?